Hello everyone, I'm ExxotikGaming and welcome back to another Pixel Gun 3D video. And today's video is finally another episode to a series that I have not done a video on in a very long time. This series is the gun comparison series. I've only done a couple of videos on this series, but the series has been out for 2 years now on my YouTube channel. I've severely neglected it, and I want to do more videos like this one in the near future. So, if you guys would like to see more comparison videos like this, make sure to leave a like down below where I go in depth with two different weapons and compare them, and eventually at the very end tell you guys which one you should get out of the two. And if you do have any ideas, make sure to comment down below what you would like to see. Now, here's the thing. If you are watching this right now and you see a comment down below of something that you would like to see, make sure to leave a like on that comment so the top comments are the top suggestions for comparisons. And out of those, I can obviously see which ones you want to see the most. So do that, and with that being said, let's get into today's video. Today's video is a comparison between the pumpkin thrower and the Bastion. Two weapons that are not really at the tip of our tongues too much anymore, not weapons that everybody is constantly talking about, but regardless, two very powerful weapons that I definitely think deserve more recognition. They are both looping shot, area damage, legendary weapons in the premium or heavy section as it's now called, some of the highest efficiency weapons in the game, a 27 efficiency for the pumpkin thrower and a 29 efficiency for the Bastion, and overall, very solid area damage weapons. The Bastion has a 77 firing rate, 8 capacity, and 120 mobility, and the pumpkin thrower has a 72 firing rate, 6 capacity, and a 110 mobility. Now, I'm not entirely sure if you can still buy the Bastion from the store. I know you can get that weapon from a lucky chest, but if you can still buy it from a store, I would imagine the Bastion is probably going to be the more expensive one out of the two. So, is it really worth the price? Is it really worth the upgrade if you were to get the pumpkin thrower instead of the Bastion? That's what we're going to find out throughout this video. Now, both of these weapons are between a 2 and a 3 shot to a max armored player in Pixel Gun 3D, which is very good. As you guys can see, 2 shot to this guy, and it's going to most likely be a 2 shot to this guy as well. You can get a heck of a lot of kills with either of these weapons, and they are very quality area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. You are going to have a lot of fun when using these weapons, I can guarantee that. They are going to give you many points, and regardless which one you choose, it's a great choice either one you get. But which one is better? That's really what we are going to find out in this video, and I guess what we should probably start off with is the area damage. And you would probably think all different weapons in the heavy section would all have the same sort of radius of the area damage, but I have to say that's not the case. I feel like with the pumpkin thrower, it has a larger radius of its area damage than the Bastion, and it's very odd because you don't really see that in the stats anywhere, but I feel like I can hit the pumpkin farther away from an enemy player and still hit them than I would with the blast of the Bastion. Now, I don't know if that's really a make or break thing for it, but it means that the pumpkin thrower is a little bit easier to get shots to land on an enemy player. You have to be a lot more close and accurate when you're using the Bastion if you want to hit an enemy player. But as you guys will see, you have a faster firing rate, and maybe that makes up for it. Both of these weapons are extremely powerful, and out of the two, the one that inevitably has the faster firing rate is the Bastion. So if you are really somebody that's looking for a more of a spamming weapon in the game, you're probably going to want to look at the Bastion as your weapon of choice. But then again, if you're really just looking for a spamming weapon in Pixel Gun 3D, you can always go for the mines launcher or something like the toy bomber, and with that you're going to be guaranteed a spamming weapon of epic proportions. Out of the two though, if you're looking at looks, if that's anything for you, I have to say the pumpkin thrower is definitely the cooler looking one out of the two. The pumpkin thrower is a very cool looking weapon, and I remember when this weapon came out back in October of 2014, it was the talk of the town. Everybody wanted to get this weapon. This weapon came out with the Hellraiser, so it gives you an idea of how long ago this weapon was introduced. The Bastion is a much newer weapon. It came out in 2015, later in 2015, so it's almost a year newer than the pumpkin thrower, and I mean, it's still a fantastic weapon. They're both great weapons. The pumpkin thrower has still held its own as a wonderful heavy type weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. Now, they are still not the absolute greatest heavy weapons in this game. You are still going to have ones that are better than them, so if you're looking for one of the two of being the absolute greatest in the game, you're not really going to find that with either of these weapons. A majority of the people in this server are using the Ghost Lantern and stuff like that, so it is a little difficult to take those people out, but then again, you can always try to find a match where people are not using those weapons, and that way you can have a much better player experience. The sound of the Bastion is cooler in my personal opinion. If sound is anything, it's probably not to the people watching this video. You really want to see just which one is more powerful, but talking about sound, we might as well do a comparison talking about every aspect of the guns. I have to say the sound is probably cooler with the Bastion. It's a very unique sound, not something you hear with any other weapon in the game, so that's pretty cool. But then again, it's just sound, and that really isn't a huge component with the weapons that you are using. Now, out of the two weapons, you have to use them both at close range. You cannot use these weapons at long range and expect to get very good gameplay with them, because they are both looping shot weapons. Now, I believe the loops are both the same. As you guys can see, the Bastion hits right there, and the Pumpkin Thrower hits right there, so they both have the same looping effect. It's not like one has a bigger looping effect than the other, so that's really not too much of a thing to worry about. But I have to say, like I said, I think the area damage is a little bit bigger with the Pumpkin Thrower as opposed to the Bastion. But I mean, as you guys have seen from this video so far, I have done very well regardless which one I have used. Every single time I have been killed, it's by ridiculously overpowered weapons anyways, and I'm still being able to hold my own against those enemy players. I go up against the Dragon Whistle, yeah, I'm going to end up dying with either of these weapons that I'm using. I go up against the Ghost Lantern, yeah, it's gonna be a loss for me. But if you are going against your average weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, both of them very solid guns, and they are definitely ones that you would definitely want to consider if you were to play this game and you're looking for a very solid area damage weapon in this game. Obviously, since they are heavy weapons with area damage, neither one of these weapons will give you headshots, but that doesn't really matter since it is only a two-shot kill to a max armored player, which is very powerful. I think people kind of disregard these weapons as they just think they're lesser powerful than some of the other weapons in this game, and they completely forget that both of these weapons are the same power as the solar power cannon. They're just basically a looping solar power cannon. So if you're really looking for a close range weapon, in all honesty, with these weapons, I feel like these weapons are going to be a better option than the solar power cannon in something like Silent School, because you're not going to have to worry about the blast going past an enemy player and hitting the far side of the wall. With this weapon, you really can just fire at the enemy player directly, and if it doesn't hit them directly, it'll hit the wall or the floor next to them because it has that looping shot enabled. So it's great. They're both wonderful weapons, but overall, which one is the better one out of the two? In all, I would probably have to say you're going to want to get the Pumpkin Thrower out of the two. Now, the thing is, with the Bastion, you can win that thing from a lucky chest, I believe. So, hey, if you can win that thing from a lucky chest, go right ahead, but you really only need one out of the two if you're really tight on gems and coins. And I'm not entirely sure if the Pumpkin Thrower is even available in the store. I thought they brought that weapon back. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but if it was still in the store, when it first was in the store beforehand, when I got this weapon, it cost coins, I believe. So it is a coin purchasable weapon, and I believe it is cheaper than the Bastion. It's a cooler looking weapon, it's cheaper, the stats are pretty much the same. The only thing that's really better with the Bastion is the faster firing rate, but I don't really think that's really worth all that much. You're gonna be a cooler pixel gun player in general if you're using the Pumpkin Thrower. So with that being said, that's basically it. Both top of the line weapons in the heavy section of this game. I'd give the Bastion a easy 9 out of 10, and I'd give the Pumpkin Thrower a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic weapons that you're sure to get great gameplay when using, as you guys can see in this pool party match here. I had no problem at all getting 19 kills with these weapons, and I got pretty much the same amount of kills with the Pumpkin Thrower as the Bastion. So either one you choose, you're going to get great gameplay with. If you're watching this video right now and you don't have the Pumpkin Thrower and you have the Bastion, you can get the pumpkin thrower and, or wait, hold on. What I was about to say was, sorry, I lost track for a second there. If you're watching this video right now and you already have the Bastion, don't waste your coins or gems on the pumpkin thrower. You only need one of the two, and if you don't have either, go with the pumpkin thrower and you will be set. Fantastic weapon though, a lot of fun. I love these weapons. They're great, and they're definitely ones that you definitely would want to get. And they're going to basically complete your Pixel Gun 3D weapons list. You will have the ultimate weapons list in Pixel Gun 3D if you have them, and I do have to say these weapons are not overpowered, which is also good. There are a lot of weapons in the heavy section which are very overpowered, and these are one of the ones that are not, so that's always good. If you're looking for a weapon that's really not going to have a lot of people rage, then this is probably something that you're going to want to consider. So with that being said, that's basically it. I really hope you guys did enjoy this comparison. Hopefully you thought it was insightful, and hopefully it helped you with your deciding between the two weapons which one you should get. Forgive me if the pumpkin thrower is removed from the store. I am almost positive it still is. I know for a fact the Bastion you can still win from the lucky chest, but I'm hoping you can still get the pumpkin thrower because it's a fantastic weapon, and I would really hope they did not remove it. It's a very fun weapon, and I'm probably going to be using it in a future video relatively soon. I would really appreciate if you guys could let me know down below in the comments what you would think is a good random weapon gameplay for this, because I definitely do not really have too many ideas that the pumpkin thrower can be a part of. Maybe I can do like plant weapon gameplay and use the bouquet and the pumpkin thrower, but I mean, come on. Is that really that great of a video? Is that really something that people would click on if they searched Pixel Gun 3D? Probably not. So I really have to think of something pretty good, and maybe I could do a Halloween weapon gameplay 2.0. I don't really know. It's all up to you guys. So with that being said, that's basically it. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. It's always greatly appreciated. Make sure to comment down below whatever other commentary or not commentary, comparison you would like to see on my YouTube channel. I do have another one planned. This is a pre-recorded video, as you obviously can see. I'm recording this on my iPhone on the older updates, and the newest update probably came out from the time that I last posted this, but the stats didn't change of these weapons in the most recent update, so it doesn't really matter that I am recording this on the old updates. Everything is still just the same with these two weapons. So yeah, I have to say I am going to be doing another comparison relatively soon, so you guys can expect that. And I plan to make the comparison series almost as regular as the gun review series. I mean, I don't really know if that's something you guys want to see, but it would be cool if I can make this series another really big Pixel Gun series on my channel. But with that being said, if this is the very first video you are watching on my channel, I'd appreciate it a lot if you subscribed for some more Pixel Gun content, the best Pixel Gun content around, and that's basically it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.